All right, welcome back. This is Black Lodge Trivia Night. We're doing our run of Dark Souls Remastered. Let's see. Last time, we got things going. We completed the opening area, the tutorial sort of area. We beat our first boss in the Taurus Demon. We, picked up this Dragon Crest Shield. We got the Grass Crest Shield. We got Black Knight Halberd. For as bad as I was playing, that's not the Black Knight Halberd, but I did get it. We got a bunch of stuff. Now, one thing, I'm going to try one more time. I got killed here in the Valley of the Drakes. I left 4 humanity on the ground, so I'm going to try one more time, see if I can get that. Go from there. So I feel like, and we got through, basically that means we got through most of, let's try fighting one of these. It's a strong opening. Not doing much damage. So this seems like a waste of time. There we go. Just die enough times, eventually you'll get the right spot for your souls to drop. Get out of that jam. Okay, so we got everything from this guy. Oh, we rang the first bell. Yeah, thinking back over it, it didn't seem like I did very much, but I guess it was a decent first chunk of the run. We explained how, the master key lets you sequence break things. So here's like a back door into, they talk about there's 2 bells. There's the one up top that we rang. There's one down below. And that one down below is here in Blighttown. And I don't know if it's worth heading down here yet. Trying to think of where else. I mean, well, we did get the basement key. I forgot about that. And I think I remember where the basement key takes us. So we can, let's do that. Let's see where the basement key goes. Maybe we can start getting down into the lower Undead Burg. So this area down here, New Londo Ruins, I hate it. Oh, before I go, I'll show you. There's actually a merchant down here. It's good if you're like a mage kind of guy.
This is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't be right. I'm Ricky Ravenna. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
So we'll exhaust his dialogue.
Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made you the best.
All right. So my memory is that he's good at, if you want, I mean, he can do the basic stuff, obviously, but if you want to do magic stuff, if you want to, imbue magic stuff, I think this is the guy to do it. But otherwise, I don't think... yeah, oh, wow, okay, he's even got some spells. I didn't realize that. But otherwise, yeah, we're not going to do much with him, but figured I'd point that out for the people that... Again, I mean, everybody's going to play this game has played this game, but... yeah, but New Londo Ruins, I do not like this area very much at all. It's, I can show it to you. It's... I don't know what the quote-unquote right order is to do this. I always save this for much later because I don't like... So, because I don't like the boss, the Four Kings. I'm just going to take that from you. You know, I'll get out of your way and let you to your morning. It's little things like this, you know, like in the first one, there was the guy sort of facing the wall in the undead asylum. This guy, you know, clearly distraught over this specific corpse. You know, this guy, I think in the stages of going hollow, you know, they're not hostile, but you can see like a quick synopsis of the process. There's a couple of good things about this area. One, well, the trick to it is you need these items called a transient curse because you deal with ghosts. I can show you real quick. You deal with these ghosts. The ghosts are pretty creepy and pretty well done and a little irritating. I don't know if I have a... Let me see if I have a bow. There's a couple things you need the way I, you know... I do have a longbow. Okay. So you get over here and you basically pop one of these curses. Now I've got 4 humanity going, so hopefully my drop rate's better. And then you start to deal with these ghosts. You know, these ghosts... Oh, are there 2 now? Yeah, so they start... I don't like this halberd. So they got really long range. They've got this grab attack that they can pull you in. You can't backstab as far as I know. But if you don't have that transient curse going, you can't attack them with normal weapons. Now, there's a couple of weapons that will work regardless. One of them is actually their dagger. I'm going to go back to the battle axe. At least it's faster. They drop a dagger that can be used to... Now you got to be very careful here because you're going off the path. Whoops, I forgot about this guy. As I say, don't go off the path and do exactly that. If you go into the water, you're dead. That's the grab attack that pulls you in. Just trying to... So I didn't do that because I forgot there was one behind me. And if you get teamed up on like that, at least for me, that's when I... Now the problem is that I did not go back to Firelink Shrine before doing that. And the other trick is I sort of wasted one of my transient curses. So I've only got one left. And so you can get them by killing those things and finding them in that area. You can buy them elsewhere as well, but you sort of got to make your transient curses count until you stockpile a few. So this is the area where we, you know, met the Black Knight, etc., etc. And we can cut over here. They have these crystal golems, and we have like our first, you can see in the distance, like our first Hydra. I don't really want to fight these guys because clearly I can't do much damage to them. And then the Hydra is going to start launching ranged attacks. But we can make our way over here. And you're going to see someone we've encountered a little while ago. I think the Master Key will open this up. And there's Havel. If you remember, he instantly flattened us with that club of his. So, but now you sort of know where we are, right? So the trick, again, like I was saying, the trick to this guy is don't get hit. The trick is that his attack tracks a little bit. So you think you're out of the way, and suddenly it sort of tracks you and you get flattened. So it's not entirely random that you get hit, but I find that I'll miscalculate a lot more than I expect to. And so maybe what I'm realizing is maybe I have slightly better luck when instead of trying to rotate around, I pull back because he's sort of slower getting the weapon back up. If I can get behind him after he's... And then, you know, like I was saying, like he has this ring that lets you carry more equipment, which might be useful now because I've been putting all my points into strength and dex to take on some weapons, like specifically now that I've got like the Black Knight halberd. But what that means is I don't have the equipment load to wear armor, as you can see from my Baywatch Knight's outfit here. I mean, I guess it's an improvement from the loincloth, but so like there, I think that kind of swing was what got me the first time because I felt like I gotten out of the path and there was a last minute adjustment on his part. So there's a couple things that people, better players than, like good players of this game, there's certain places they like to go for like quick souls early on. And one of them is, you remember like in the beginning, we sort of cleared a graveyard of items. If you keep going down that way, you go into this whole area where you meet, you know, the first undead Nito that was mentioned in the opening cinematics. But before you get to him, there's this one enemy that's actually super easy. And I forget what they're called, but you get like 10,000 souls, and maybe you get more, I don't know. It's a couple of quick levels. There's Hovel's ring. Oh, I guess there's no armor here. So let's equip that ring just so we can... This one is one I think used... No, there's one that boosts attack, I think, when your HP is low. So let me see if we're able to wear leather armor now and still fast roll. Alright. So now you know where we are. We're below the Taurus Demon. On the other side of the upper undead Berg. I never found the little crystal lizard in here. Thought it was around here in the barrels. But what do I know? So the nice thing about this game is by making you, it at first glance it seems big, right? It seems like, okay, this is, and there's no map. And at first, oh, remember I was saying the basement key. I think that's this door here. We never took care of that Drake, the Sunbro guy. Did he move on, or is he still? Nope, he's still there. Okay. The world seems big and it seems easy to get lost in, but I will say, for not having a map, part of the genius of this game is that you really internalize where everything is, and you find yourself navigating it very easily, without too much effort. So we're going to cut up this way, because I'll show you in a second. Again, hopefully you'll recognize where we are in a sec. If I can get through the door. I'm going to come back here. Nope, don't fall him off the... Okay. We want to open this door and we want to go through here in a sec because we want to... get to this bonfire. So, you know, obviously this is like the our main bonfire we were hitting up. Can we... no. I want to do this. That should be good for another level. I think we're getting close to... This needs to be... So we need 32, so that would be... 21 doesn't get there. 20 is not enough because that only gets us to 30. So we need to probably have 22 gets us to 33. So we need a couple more strength, one more dex. And then we're on to the two-handing the Black Knight halberd if we want to try that. But yeah, so we, you know, we set ourselves up here now. All right. And so, yeah, now we just opened that shortcut that we were like, oh, this is going to go somewhere eventually, right? Now we know. Goes to the lower Undead Burg. I don't know who's following me. I don't know if this gets a title card or not. But yeah, I usually hang back here on the stairs, let these dogs come. If you block them, they're not too bad. So, you know, if you aren't looking at all, they can be a bit of a burden. But if remember, one of the things we bought from the opening merchant that we then murdered was a residence key.
Please let me out of here. Somebody, anybody, help me. Unlock the door. Damn, I'm finished. How did this ever happen? Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you.
That was brilliant.
I'm saved. I thought I might never escape. I am Griggs of Vinheim, a sorcerer of the school. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travels.
So the blacksmith we just talked to near the Anor Londo ruins was also from Vinheim, I think.
Oh, hello. I'm fine. I will rest a while, then return to Firelink Shrine. I have my sorcery, and I will be more cautious next time. Besides, I have an important task at hand.
Let's see if he'll tell us about that.
I'm fine. I have my sword.
No, I guess not. Okay. So I wonder, you know, he seemed to like have a similar outfit. I don't know if it's just because they're from the same area or if there's some other connection that I miss. But you roll over here and you can pick up the corpse. And it's sort of the outfit that that guy is wearing, right? And so I think I heard somewhere. So now you're set up, you want to do sorcery. Like you got, you know, your starting equipment. But I thought I heard some, you know, how like, you know, the Sunbro guy was like saying, you know, universes intersect and that's how we can do Jolly co-op. I thought I've heard, and maybe again it was Bonfire Side or somewhere where that's part of it, you know, so the corpse there is actually that guy just from like a different run or something. Or a different time, maybe, because, you know, the DLC... Oop, I'm going to get killed. The DLC involves some time jumps. I'm not sure exactly, but I don't think it's a coincidence that the sorcerer trapped is next to the corpse of a sorcerer trapped. Gotta be careful on these stairs, because you go down, you die. Let's see who followed. Everybody followed. Now, this area down here is not actually very long, but it's a bit of a gauntlet. I wonder why I'm... I guess the axe has a long wind up for the overhead strike, which I needed because it's narrow. So we don't have to worry about those 4 humanity anymore. Those are gone. Maybe the halberd would be useful here with a little bit more reach. As I probably said in the last one, like I almost never use this axe, so this is also sort of a new move set. And it seems like it's like one of those things like how different can it be? But when you build a lot of your muscle memory, I guess that's the thing. The muscle memory, I guess, is a funny thing. Yeah, let's go back to the halberd. So what I want to do is I want to figure out, like, you run and attack. There's a way to do, like, a jump attack, I think, right? So, the reason why you can sort of cheese it a little bit. There's an ambush that happens here, but if you... And it's triggered by how far you get down the sidewalk. How do you do a jump attack? So if you do it right, you can basically get most of the way down the sidewalk without triggering the ambush, stabbing him through the door. Do I not have the stats for the 1612? I was going to say, I seem to have this weird lunge going on after the fact. One of the guys has some stuff in his room, I think. Or maybe it's in the next section. There's 2 ambushes like... Oh, there he is. Okay. You gotta be careful with them because I think they build up some poison or something. So again... Oh, maybe you can't. They have some ranged attacks with throwing knives. They can parry. It's a little tricky. So what I tend to do is once I get by them, they have this, gotta be careful, they have like this grab attack where they get behind you and like sort of slit your throat. There's a lot going on with these guys. So this is sort of a weird thing. What I like to do, and I don't know if this makes any sense, but again, we all fall into our, our habits. I like to, so there's a boss right there. That boss is one of the, for some people, and in my first run, it was the part where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm not going to do it though, because what I like to do, and it's stupid, is I like to open up this passage here. Now you think, oh, deal with that guy, but there's actually a guy right there you got to worry about. And then you can deal with him. If you can get behind him, you can backstab. There's a door over here we can't open yet. You get the key, I think, from killing that boss behind the fog. We're racking up a decent amount of souls, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go level up, but I'm going to do it by going this way. We're going to open up some more shortcuts. Now, when I make this boss run, I like to do it from this direction. And the reason why is because it allows you to completely skip that gauntlet every time. But first, let's...
You still have your senses about you. Then why won't you buy some of my moss? I need your souls.
I respect the creepy transactional nature being just put right out there up front. So here you can get some mosses. Poison buildup could help us if we were going to go down into Blighttown, but we're not going to do that quite yet. One of the... Oh, she sells the transient curse. That can get you started if you have already blown yours, like I blew one of mine. And I think she also sells purging stones. Purging stones, hopefully we never get curse, because that's terrible. Curse is sort of like, in Demon Souls you'd lose...
This is a wonderful place, don't you think? We have water, moss, moisture, these nice iron bars. I like it here, I really do. Nothing good ever happened to me in life, but now that I'm undead, I've never been happier. You've come to this land at a bad time. There are nothing but hollows in these parts. Save for me, of course. You're undead too, aren't you? You be careful then. Go down along the side to reach the depths of the undead bird. Only unkempt crooks and liars to be found there. Hardly a place for a lady like myself. But who knows? Maybe you'd fit right in.
Okay, so we've exhausted her. We're not going to buy anything yet because I want to get some more levels. Sometimes I go, haha, always these creepy laughs. But I guess if everybody's heading toward going hollow, it would make sense that they're starting to lose their minds, and that's how I think I might laugh if I were a zombie slowly going insane. So we've opened up this gate. You know, that's the waterway they were talking about that takes us to the Undead Burg. So we're going to see where we pop up. But now we can run the whole length of the gate. So basically, as you can guess, we're heading back toward the Firelink Shrine, which is where I make my boss runs for, and I can't remember the name of the boss fight behind that. Oop, oop, oop. Look at that. That was terrible. All right. At least we're not too far. So the only reason why I'm hesitant to upgrade some weapons here is because I don't know which one I want to use yet. And it's not like certain ones are terribly limited, but it's not like Elden Ring where you end up making sure you can buy everything you need. And so what I used to do is you end up getting to, you know, again, like everybody's going to play this game, has probably already played it. There's an area called Anor Londo. There's the gate, so we want to go this way. And Anor Londo is one of the best areas in the game. It's one of the best areas in a lot of video games. And it has like your main blacksmith in it. And so what I used to do is I used to just farm. And farm and farm and farm souls, because it was one of the few places where you could buy most of the upgrade materials you needed to get stuff pretty high up. It's also, well, I'll get to that when I get to it. I'll just say this. Dark Souls is, on many lists, of one of the best games ever made. It hits a certain point where I think you could argue it becomes one of the worst video games made in a little while. Maybe not one of the worst games ever, but it gets rough. Let's see if we got any. Okay, so we've got the dex, so we still need 2 more strength. So if you talk to this guy here, I'll show you.
Why, what a surprise. I didn't expect you to make it. Oh, somebody rang the bell. Wait, was it you? You never give up, do you? I don't know how you do it. Well, don't stop now. Only one more. But it's going to be suicide.
That's the spirit.
Don't you ever think to forge your weapons? You'd better find a smith box soon, unless you enjoy swinging about with blunt instruments.
Did I not level up?
What's wrong? Get a bit of a scare out there? No problem. Have a seat and get comfortable. We'll both be hollow before you know it. Well, what What are you?
I think we're close to exhausting this new round of
I've
dialogue.
already decided. I don't really care. I'm simply crestfallen.
Oh, do I have the crest shield and not the one that blocks 100% damage? That might be one thing going on. All right. Yeah, I still have 9,000 souls, so maybe I didn't accept. So the other thing going on now is we can meet our new friend.
Oh, hello. I regret meeting you under such compromising circumstances. At least we both made it back unscathed. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested?
Yeah, why not?
Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away. Have you heard of Big Hat Logan? Master Logan is a great sorcerer and my teacher. Both of us came to this land as undead. But one day he departed, leaving only a note. I suppose he wished to keep me out of harm's way. But where does that leave me? I have dedicated myself to sorcery, but Master Logan could find no use for me. Yes, the note that Master Logan left. It only said he would travel to Anolondo by way of Sen's fortress. I can only guess that he seeks the Regal Archives.
Oh, do we lose the VO? For Master Logan is a tireless pursuer of wisdom.
Wisdom trumps all. Everything else is hogwash. When the curse turned him undead, I'm certain that he only felt it was the perfect chance to visit this land. I only wish that I had his courage. 2 things are required for sorcery.
Again, we're going to burn through his dialogue.
You must equip a wand. Second, you must attune a sorcery. Then you will be ready to fire away. Oh, and don't forget to aim. 2 things.
Okay.
First, then. Oh.
So let's see what spells he has. There's one spell in particular that I want. And I don't think this is the guy that gives it to me. So we're not going to buy anything yet.
Goodbye then. Do stay safe.
The NPC stories in these games are, I mean, in all Souls games are quite tragic. We met Siegmeyer, who's, I want to make sure I don't blow his quest line because his is really quite nicely done. And I think it's, again, sort of shows the potential for this kind of storytelling. You know, it's not hand-holdy. It's not hours of cutscenes. Yet they managed to tell this very touching story that's heartbreaking. There's a reason why VaatiVidya's channel is called Prepare to Cry instead of Prepare to Die. Because everything about these stories is just heartbreaking. And even like the guy we just met, you know, like, hey, I had my, you know, Big Hat Logan, who clearly he idolizes on some level as his teacher. And the teacher's like, nah, you know. So he's doing all he can to just impress the poor guy. Yeah, impress the guy. And the poor guy, you know, the helper just can't do it. Also, though, you know, he's explaining, you know, Big Hat Logan went to Anolondo by way of Sen's Fortress. It's sort of telling you, like, hey, that's the path. You might not know exactly what those things mean yet, but that's a path you're going to need to follow. Let's give this a shot. What do I got? 2,400 souls. So again, this is the way I go to make this run, just because you don't have to deal with the entire gauntlet, but you do have to do with 2 of these guys. And the 2 dogs. There's 2 dogs up ahead. But it's a little quicker once you get to this point than going the other way. And because I'm not fighting as much, it gives me less chance to screw up and get killed or do something stupid. Oop. Waiting for it to attack. Starting to get impatient. Okay, there we go. Nope, I keep kicking instead of... Alright, so let's heal up. So this boss is quite tricky. What we're going to do is we're going to be fighting a boss that's going to be an extremely tight space. And the only real sort of geography in there is a staircase. It's going to be a couple dogs and the boss in a really confined space. And it's going to be overwhelming. And the trick is to use the staircase, but I'll show you. You don't want to run right to the staircase. At least for me, what it took me forever to learn is if you run straight for the staircase, you're going to get jammed up by the dogs and wrecked. So what you want to do is you want to counterintuitively run away from the staircase for a hot second. To get up the stairs. And usually when I do that, I'm pretty successful. And then I just sort of hide here. You gotta be careful. The Capra Demon can hit you. So you gotta keep blocking. But basically the trick is you're trying to separate the dogs from the Capra Demon. And this is... Oop. Oop. I didn't get the plunge attack because I didn't mean to fall there. Okay, so... you know, again, I'm not great at this game, but even at this point, this this fight still stumps me a little bit. And again, it's not because it's the most difficult fight in the world, it's because the boss arena really jams you up. Also, this halberd, again, I don't know what to make of it. The battle axe feels slow in some way to me. Huh. Let's say just Zweihander this baby. The funny thing about the Zweihander is you can... It didn't do it. You can pancake people. Now if you do like an overhead attack, you can sometimes just flatten them. This is really slow though. Does do good damage. I thought you could pancake people with it. Let's see what this I'm looking for the winged spear. I guess we got decent decks at the moment. That'll be handy against the dogs on the ledge. But I guess the halberd does that same attack and does more damage. Can you attack with the... Oh yeah, you can keep your shield up. Okay. That's how it was in Demon Souls 2. So again, I know this boss run is potentially longer than coming from the upper Undead Burg, but it's a little bit simpler at least. Oh, there we go. Not gonna lie, I forgot that they can heal up. Yeah, the hardest part of this run back is actually for me the dogs. Because you saw it last time, like, you know, the camera starts to freak. Oh, wow. I guess this is a little bit faster than the halberd, but it's interesting that the battle axe does more than the gargoyle tail. Does the gargoyle tail do anything else? All right, let's try the battle axe. So again, for me, it's break right, then go left, but I didn't do it. So now I'm going to get jammed up and die. Yeah, so looking at it, I don't know, did I break left too early? These guys are good to practice parrying. Parrying is going to be the thing that helps you win the game. There's a couple of moments where if you can parry, two of the harder moments in the game get much easier. I am terrible at it. But they're pretty good guys to practice parrying on. Obviously, all the timing is different, but I think there's a thing speedrunners say, like, you don't let your stamina drop all the way down. If you let it refill just before it empties, it recovers quicker, I think. I don't know if that's true of all Souls games, but I thought I saw that for here. You could probably run by these guys. I just don't want to risk it because I am not very good at this game. So in my mind, I would run past these guys, get tripped up on these dogs like an idiot, then start getting bleed attacks from behind. Okay. Let's cap off just to do it. Man, that might be too far to the right. Okay, so again, we're using the staircase to... Just gotta be careful again, because... God, it's such a goddamn slow overhead swing, but I have to do the overhead swing because the wall's right there. So I'm gonna go back to the halberd. At least I can poke him to death. I'm trying to... I think I do this fight with a different weapon. So I think in the last session I was talking about how there's, you know, if you can get the Drake on the bridge to come down after you, you can get behind it, and it makes the Drake fly away. You lose your chance to fight him. But it also clears the bridge, so you can open up a shortcut, open up a gate, and also grab a sword. And I think the sword on there is... I don't know if it's the Bastard Sword or the Claymore Sword, but either one of them, those tend to be my go-to weapons. For some reason, those are the ones that I gravitated to in my earlier playthroughs and got used to them. But that, you know, the Claymore, I think, has like a sweep attack and like maybe a thrust. But that's got to be pretty slow as well. So I don't know if that would change much. And even like in my Demon Souls run here on Black Lodge Trivia Night, I was like, oh, great, I got the Claymore. And then I realized, oh, crap, this is really slow. And I ended up going with the Uchigatana Dex run because of that. I don't know if it's just because I got used to Elden Ring where everything feels faster. But suddenly, like, my old standby felt pretty slow. I mean, my dex is pretty high. Well, let's see what the Uchigatana is like here. Is this like where, you know, in the rom-com where you and your best friend realize that you've been staring at each other the whole time? It's got a good reach. Oh. That does have a good reach, huh? Ah, did I? So is it dumb luck that I only... No. I was gonna say, is it only dumb luck that I didn't aggro both of them, but then... Before I could get the full sentence out, I got attacked right in my face, so what do I know? Alright. There we go. A little bit to the right. Oops, no, I'm gonna... But that's better. Okay. Where's the other dog? There we go. Okay. I'm gonna jump off. Some beautiful camera work. So one thing you can do here, if you're... Let's see if I can get a plunging attack going. Because he can get himself to fall, and then when he does, I think you can land on him. Okay, not as much as I was hoping, but... Can you do it from the staircase? Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to... Again, it's tight quarters, so you don't want to get yourself jammed up. So again, let's see if I can do a plunging attack. So really, you're half fighting the camera in this fight. Whoa. Because of the constraints, the confined space. Now, if he follows me up the stairs, I tend to just let him do what he's going to do until he falls off. I mean, I guess I could... Good design. I mean, you know, like... You know, the goat head... You know, eliciting sort of... Whoops, did I get hit there? Oh, just got flattened there. You know, elicits the Wow. The demon he's trying to pull a drop attack on me. Nope. Man, he's just going all in on that. Oh, I got 2 left. Did I get him? There we go. Key to the depths. All right. So this guy's not optional. Is he optional? It's the only way to get... Oop, where am I going? As I start to trigger the ambushes and all that stuff. You need him to get to the key to the depths. And I'm trying to figure out if you need the key to the depths. I think if you have the master key, the answer is no, because the depths are the sort of quote-unquote correct way to get into Blighttown. But if you have the master key, you can go in the back door, you know, in that sequence break we've been doing. And you don't, I guess, technically need to do this at all. Now, what I should be doing is I should Homeward Bone, because I don't think there's a bonfire for a while. And there's a couple of tough fights right here. Shit, am I turning into a Dark Souls Dex run girl? So I'm like, oh yeah, this Uchigatana, it feels familiar. It feels fast. It feels, again, like the rom-com where you suddenly realize you should stop chasing all the other girls and, or whoever you're, and then go for the best friend that's been right in front of you the whole time. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to Homeward Bone. Let's use up those souls we picked up just in case it gets us. Now, one thing I think you can do is I think in the old game one thing you could do to save time there is you could put those souls in your like quick slots if you had a bunch of them, because you could not do stacks. Okay, so we've got the deck, so now it's all strength. So what we can do now, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Switch to that. Yeah, no, I got that. Put this on there, because then you put it on your back. Can we attack normally? Yeah, right? Okay, that's the mage. See, okay. Go from doing like 100 damage to almost 400. This thing isn't leveled up at all. This also gives us a weapon where, ooh, do we do it? We've unlocked the depths, but can we go a different way? So I'm going to go back up here to the elevators. And last time I tried this, oh, okay. This story is progressing. Let's check in here.
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure. Oh,
I wonder if there's any, miracles. Not that we have any money, but just to see what could we be. I guess, is there a heal? Heal can be useful in this game just because, your S's are limited. But honestly, I don't know if it's worth it. And I think
the effective
this game is one of those that faith builds are just not great.
What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good. Oh, you again. What business have you? I don't suppose we can help, though. We accompany my lady on her righteous mission. It is quite a chore, but I'm stuck with her. And Nico, too. I can't very well abandon them now. Oh, it's you. We're to leave momentarily. The catacombs aren't exactly my idea of a good time, but what can one do? I do hope we meet again.
So again, we're exhausting dialogue, but also, he's saying what our path is through the catacombs. Again, tells you where you can go.
Exactly my idea of a good time, but what can one do?
It's a little nebulous, but
I do hope we meet again. Reria Nox.
But man, these guys are like the Dark Souls equivalent of that scene in American Psycho where all the douchebags covet each other's business cards. Like, you gotta look sharp, baby. Let's talk to her.
You are undead as well. Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us.
The Church of Broken Pots.
Did I not explain the urgency of our tasks? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not. Did I not explain? Or are you
Okay, so we've exhausted our dialogue, and again, another NPC quest line just opened up. Another. I don't know if there are any happy endings in this game. Remembering where all these stories go. Am I fat rolling this? That sucks. Am I gonna have to go topless? Fuck yeah. Does that do it? It does. Well, I guess if I have to take my shirt off. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Nope. Just start the yakety sax at this time code and just fast forward when I put this up on YouTube. Oh. I wonder why I'm getting those noises. I mean, I know why, but I don't know. So the problem with those guys is they come back to life. I know what could be causing that noise. I just don't know why I'm seeing it yet or hearing it yet. But yeah, so this is another tragic story. We'll meet them later. It's an interesting idea, the idea of like, going hollow. It makes everything that everyone's doing sort of a race. And it's sort of like a Flowers for Algernon kind of tragedy where I know I only have, speaking from their sort of perspective, I know I only have so much time. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, this, I'm going to say, I don't know. I don't mean to presume what people go through, but if you receive, say, like a dementia diagnosis, you know it's this, creeping fog. Is this whole thing a metaphor for that? I don't know. That's going to come for you. All right, let's see if I can do this. There we go. Maybe I don't have to quite hook so hard. So now there's a couple things we need to do here. We need to make that jump twice. That's the first tragedy of all this. But yeah, so going hollow is this sort of interesting metaphor where you have to, it's like I was saying, it's like a race. Did I just screw this up? No. You need to come here because you need to get this key. And then after you get that key, you have to drop down. Oop, good thing I didn't land on him. And then you have to make that jump a second time. And so it provides this narrative urgency to all these NPC quests. Like, Master Logan knows that he went undead, so he might as well come to this land, right? They're sort of saying, like, don't you understand the urgency of our quest? And again, I think it's because of this undead going hollow kind of thing. I don't know anything about, the hidden meanings behind the story, but like, and I don't mean to, offend or upset anyone by, making that comparison, but it just sort of struck me here, like, that idea of like this impending fog coming for you. And so you got to do what you can before it robs you of yourself. Again, like, heavy heavy themes for a video game. So we're going to come to this nest and we're going to do something that on its surface makes no sense. And then you wait. And the trick is you have to wait because, if you don't know, it's like, oh, I guess nothing's happening and you stand back up. But if you just hang around for a little bit, and I don't know how long, there we go. So I guess that raven has its nest and then it's got its nest in the Hamptons here. I don't quite get it. Like, or it's like a Secret Family Lifetime special or something. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know why it wants to bring eggs back and forth. But who am I to question the genius of the raven? Since it's my... It's not the Uber service we want, but it's the Uber service we deserve. Okay, so now we can go to this nest and trade. But I don't know what I would want to trade. That's something like I was saying in Demon Souls, just Google it. If there's something specific you want to get. Like, the highest level of... I'm going to stick with this shield because of some of the things we have to fight here. The highest level of upgrade material is called a Titanite slab. You can get one of them here. And maybe you can trade for one. Maybe that's another way to get another one. I'm going to go with 100% blocking. Okay, so you want to avoid the middle. Obviously the Undead Asylum guy that we killed here is gone, but you want to avoid the middle. And what we're here is, of course, we're back at the starting area, which, again, From Software's willingness to take a chance. This one might be one worth, well, I won't get into it yet. This one I was going to say might be worth kindling up to 10 because of what we're going to deal with. Okay, so if you remember, this was the area where this guy, but he's gone, and now he's gone hollow. Which he said he was going to do. But again, it's a sort of tragic story. He's lost himself. He probably doesn't want to do this, but he can't help it. Now, the part of what he slow rolls, which helps, but basically I like to get him out here a little bit so I can get behind him, even though I'm not really backstabbing yet. That was a tactical mistake. There we go. I said in the Demon Souls run that the sound work felt like it was, for my taste, like too crisp and precise and detailed, but like where you're hearing every detail equally, if that makes sense, and it ends up in a way not sounding realistic. But this one, I love the sound of his armor as he moves. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. Just kicking each other now like a drunken brawl. Not getting the backstabs. Backstabs are good for two reasons. Obviously, heightened damage, but also the window to heal. Nope. Lock on. Respect the fat roll. So again, don't feel good about that, but... So let's see if the Crest Shield is just the vanilla version of 100%. Oh no, it's the magic one. Okay. So that's definitely a good one. That ends up being sort of the best one in a way. Because later on, you end up dealing with a lot of magic enemies, especially in the DLC. So that's, if you're going to upgrade one, I might go with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to... Oop, forgot about that. Make our way through this opening area again because there's going to be some stuff now we can do we couldn't do before. And you want to make sure you go everywhere, like even all the way back down to your starting cell, which I've sort of missed at this point. I'll go back and do it in a sec. But the reason why you wanted to get that key on the rooftop is because now we're able to go over to this side and I think get through this locked door. Get through this locked door, and now we can make our way over to this broken staircase that we haven't been able to get to. And we get the Rusted Iron Ring. The Rusted Iron Ring is really, really, really useful. It lets you move at normal speeds in, like, swamps. And so, you know, we haven't talked about it much yet, but if you know Blighttown, you know Blighttown is a giant swamp. And it can be a real hassle to navigate without that. There's also a place under Sen's Fortress where you can sort of farm Titanite demons, and you absolutely have to have this rusted ring to move around there. The fights are just, for me at least, too hard when you can only go at like half speed. So there you go. Now there's a Black Knight here. So it's interesting. So like lore-wise, this isn't random, right? The Black Knights, there was one in the Undead Burg, and I was saying, like, oh, I don't know the lore. I think the lore might be, like, Black Knights come from the status quo area of Anne Orlando. You're keeping an eye on the undead because they're the ones that could upset the whole apple cart. So, you remember that guy? That's why you don't want to run into the middle of the room, because the first guy who jumped from the roof, I love that this is all connected. He screws up the like structural integrity of the floor. So now when you run on it, it will break and you'll fall into this fight. Anyway, Black Knights. So rumor has it somebody's escaped, right? This is a tough fight because there's no room. Can you fight? Is it better to fight him in the cell? Is there more space in there? Not really. You want to get that doll. That's the whole reason to come here. I don't know why the doll shows up here. Can he not fit through the door? Oh, okay. Again, you want to beat this guy with backstab. Well, you don't even have to fight him if you want. You know, like, we got the doll. We don't need to deal with him. If we don't want to. And you can get behind him to backstab. It's not impossible. It's just you're dealing with the camera. And, you know, it's a slog because you can't do much damage to him. But yeah, and so in my headcanon, or maybe this is what people say, like, you know, they're here to protect against the undead, the chosen one kind of storyline coming to fruition. So there's one in the undead burg because you got to make sure none of those guys turn out to be the one. If they do, you got to go get them. And here's rumors of a guy who's escaped the undead asylum, which seems like it'd be a big deal. So maybe they send a Black Knight to check that out. I don't know who drops the doll, though. It wasn't there clearly when we were in the cell. And it seems like it's something that would be something, you know, like the guy that went hollow that we fought a second ago, you know, he dropped us the key. Maybe he put it there before he went hollow? Nope. Timed that one poorly. So red Titanite chunk, good. That's might be fire weapon, so that's great. I think we've gotten basically everything we need to get. We got the doll from our original cell. And we got the rusted iron ring, which helps for some areas. So it's good to come back here early if you can. But then we also have this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two. I'm going to switch to... So there's a particular way that I do this fight. I don't know if it makes any sense. Grass crest. Make sure I'm fast rolling. I am. Obviously two-hand. We're going to bump this guy up to 10. I guess I should level up as well. No, I'm not there yet. Interesting. Okay. Kindle. Do I do this in full loincloth? Actually, let me see. Do I have any souls? See if I can get up to... Okay, I do not. All right, so here we go. We're going to give this a shot. I'm not good at this fight. So what I want to do, well, I'm going to deal with these two guys because they can fall down into the fight and complicate things. I want to break through the floor heading towards that corner. Because you're going to take damage from the fall. And you want to get into a corner to heal up. Sometimes you can even do it so you don't even trigger the fight. So now the trick to this fight is don't get hit. And that's why I don't use the shield. Because this fight is just don't get hit. You got that blast. This guy's harder, obviously, than the first one. Now that we've got the Black Halberd, we can actually do some damage to him. That area of effect attack will hit you from behind. Oh, so you gotta be careful. You gotta roll through that or else it's gonna just flatten you. You gotta look for an opening. If he jumps up or does something... I was looking for an opening to heal. But anyway, so the way I tackle this fight is that I just, I probably play it the way like real good players actually play this game, which is no shield, two-handing for max damage, dodge every attack. Again, okay, so we're gonna... Nope. Well, I didn't need to do that anyway, so there we go. So it's just, again, keeping him in the middle so you have the space to... And you want to get behind him as fast as possible, which I'm not doing. Right, and so the reason why I don't mind tackling this now is you need to have a weapon that's going to do damage. You don't want to, like, do 20 points of damage with every swing. And now that I've got the Black Knight Halberd, that's the kind of weapon... that you can actually hurt him with without upgrading it too much. So again, I try and get to the corner to heal, because it buys you a little time. And then you just gotta get behind him. And keep your distance because of that blast. And then you just time it. Like, if he keeps doing this, you know, we can do this all day, and that's great. So you just gotta... He's gonna butt slam. Then when he does, you gotta get behind him again. As fast as possible. So yeah, imagine trying to do this with like an unbuffed like halberd. We'd be doing like 98 points of damage or something to him. So here, it gives me less chances to make mistakes. Get away from him because that's got some area of effect. Then get behind him. And so the reason why I do this, again, naked, I want to be able to be as fast as possible so I can get behind him. I was about to get greedy there, but I'm just going to wait for this because I know what this attack is. Okay. Here we go. Last one. Now, you absolutely want to take this guy out at some point because, as you'll see in a second, get a Titanite slab, which is the highest level of equipment augmentation you can get. And there's only a few of them in the game. This is one of them. So you want to get it. So here's the trick. That's a lot of souls, right? And then you make your way out. That's where we started the game. It's a lot of souls, but I don't know if I'm going to level up yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bit of a risky run here. And if you remember in the last one, there was the Crest of Artorias or whatever. It was 20 grand. While I have it, I'm going to try and make a run over there and get it. I'm going to I guess I only needed 1 health potion, so maybe I didn't need to kindle this one, but... But yeah, I'm going to make a run over and see if I can get that Crest of Victorious. Also, what I'm going to do, because I'm not very good at this game, I'm going to switch back to being able to block. Because this could probably get me like 4 or 5 levels, but oh, did I? Am I stuck on the door? Again, the cameras in this game, a little rough. Alright, so we make our way back. Curl up, and then we should be on our way. I don't think they make you wait here. Now, the Crest of Victorious, basically it opens up a secret door in the Darkroot Garden area. And truthfully, I don't even remember if it's worth it. Like, if it actually simplifies the way you have to go. I can't honestly recall. But I do it anyway because I'm never sure. Like, I'm used to the path that it opens up. Oop. Are they gone? No, not. Oh, they took off. So let's talk to him again.
Oh, you again? Me? I've become separated from my lady. I've scoured near and far, but no sight of her. Where could she have gone? My lady, to think I swore to protect you with my life.
I don't know how we lost them. They were right there. I'm sure they started their journey together. Like, I love it. Actually, maybe I should exhaust this dialogue.
Your Highness, where have you gone? I am entirely to blame for this. Oh, woe is me. I am unworthy, deathly so.
I wish I could offer him his copper coin back. Oh, now you're the trash person.
Oh, I'm sorry. Miracles, was it? Sometimes I lose myself. Pay me no mind.
All right. So yeah, let's make this run. We need to get to the elevator. So yeah, if you get a weapon, or if you're good enough, that's a good, getting back to the Undead Asylum is a good thing to do early so you can get that Rusted Iron Ring. The doll opens up a future area. It's nice to get. Titanite slab we won't need for a while, but you definitely want to get it at some point. This guy's gone, so we don't need to worry about him. And when they were talking about, old Big Hat Logan taking, Anor Londo via Sen's Fortress. Sen's Fortress, I didn't mention it, is this. So we got to get those doors open. That's where we met Sigmar. He's sort of stuck on his quest. Sigmar's quest you want to do for a couple reasons. One, because it's heartbreaking and so well done. And two, you get a Titanite slab, which at the end of the day, once you experience the quest, why we're all here, right? Purchase. Crest of Artorias. Do we want... You know, we might as well get it. We have the money. Maybe it'll come in handy to be able to upgrade at bonfires. Maybe not. I don't know. Reinforced weapon. Do we have anything that would let us reinforce the Black Knight halberd? We need Twinkling Titanite. Okay. I don't think he sells that, but let's just double check. Nope. Because the Black Knight halberd is like an endgame weapon, so you're not wasting resources. Can we take this guy on? Usually I need to block. But maybe I can... No, I mentioned last time, I had a friend who passed away who was a big fan of this game. One of the other things, he really liked that Baldur side sword. He really likes this guy's weapon too. I'm about to die. It's not a guaranteed drop if you kill him, but he really liked this guy's weapon. And I gotta say, that went much faster than I was expecting. Because of... Yeah, that went much faster than I was expecting. Because of this weapon. Because, when I tried it the first time, I was chipping at him for like 30 points of damage. So the Crest of Art, you know what? I'm going to switch. I know I was just talking about how awesome that damage was, but let me switch back to my normal thing because I'm going to deal with ambushes and things jumping out of the ground. So remember, last time we went this way, we got Black Knight halberd, and that's where we got this halberd. These guys are really useful because you can farm them for different types of moss. Yeah, this area is tricky just because you get ambushed a lot, so I just want to be able to block. I imagine flame weapons would wreck these guys. Okay, so you got that glow going on there, right? So if you don't have that, okay, I'll just say the glow is the Crest of Artorias. So it can open this door. Otherwise, you have to go this way, and I end up going both ways anyway. So that's part of the problem, right? Go through that secret door, get yourself a bonfire so you can have a checkpoint. I don't think I can level. Okay. So I want to get at least 10 more strength. If I can get 10 more strength, I can one-hand the Black Knight halberd. So there's two ways to go. You want to do both. This way is an interesting way because you end up... I'll go there in a second. Let's just check out what's over here first. There's not a boss there, so I don't know why. This one's area is tricky because it's an ambush. You want to go this way because I think there's, you know, the blacksmith's talking about how you need like certain materials to ascend weapons from one type to another. One of them is down here somewhere. And I think it's the one that lets you do like a magic, it's like the magic ember. They're all embers. I always miss this little side passage, but it's worth going down here. You want to attack these snakes. Oh, I thought I could kill it in one shot. Gotta be careful of those snakes, because yeah, they'll ambush you. But you get a decent weapon here. The partisan is a good spear. If you're not going to use the spear, you don't need it. But I have this sort of hoarding mentality. So you see, some of them are vines, but you gotta watch out for the ones that are actually snakes. Like this one over here, I think. Can you lock onto them? You might not be able to. Snakes, I guess they're more like salamanders. Oh, you know what? Let me try something. I never really do this, but I think it's something that I know about, but I've never done. So let me run back to that bonfire. It's not too far. And I'm going to reverse my hollowing. So let's get a humanity going. Because there's somebody you can summon here. We are approaching. So there's a fog gate. It wasn't literally a boss fight, but there's one sort of coming up, I think. It's not a hard one, but I don't know if I've ever summoned for it. So let's give that a shot. I don't know how much longer I can go, but hopefully maybe we can get through this boss fight. Oop, nope, I don't want to go that way. That's through the Artorias. Get through the boss fight, and then maybe I'll wrap this session up. So yeah, I was contemplating doing some more Darklands, but like I said, I find this game relaxing. And again, the brutal week that was going on is not quite done. And so I just wanted to unwind a little bit. These guys, you can fight them. They're a little tricky. They can sort of slow you down. Is this it? Yeah, look at that. Witch Beatrice. I don't know what her story is. I don't know. Is she part of the Witches of Izalith or whatever? I don't know anything about her. If she's got like an NPC quest. I don't know. Oh, don't fight them. Oh, cool. She can just drop them. Great. We're going to bring her up here. Is she following? Yeah. Because there is a boss fight right here. And this boss fight is actually quite beautiful in a way. I want to switch to different shield. Because it's going to be a magic fight. Oops. Here we go. It's the Moonlight Butterfly. It's not particularly hard, but I love the music. Now, the trick to this fight is you can't hurt it in melee. I don't know if I've ever done this fight. Oh, is that it? Okay. With the Crest Shield. Because usually those magic attacks are quite brutal. But the Crest Shield was able to block most of it, so it wasn't a big deal. And so what you have to do is you have to wait it out. So yeah, I've never done it with help. I've never done it with a Crest Shield. I don't think I've done it with help. So usually what you have to do is you have to wait out the magic attacks or absorb them if you're terrible like me, and then eventually it sort of wears itself out and it lands. And when it lands, you get a couple quick shots in, and then rinse and repeat. Watchtower basement key. Divine Ember, so now we can get like holy damage. That's good. The Watchtower basement key. Do you need that to actually progress? I'm trying to remember what it unlocks. So that's the reason why you go the non-Crest of Artorias shield way. But I thought it can't just be a dead end, right? Like, you have to be able to... I think if you follow these plants, usually that guides you. Oh, can you hit this tree? Sometimes these trees block passages. Yeah, like the blood red, reduces bleed. I think one of them reduces poison buildup. One reduces... You don't really need to kill these trees. One reduces toxic, which I think we encountered briefly in the first session when I ran down into Blighttown. The guys with the blow darts. Yeah, it's a bit of a maze that I should not be trying to tackle right now with 15,000 souls, but... I was going to say, I think there's an ambush here. Okay, there we go. Can these guys poison you or something? Maybe not. Oh, I woke him up. All right. Now, those guys have an effect where they can slow you down. Like, they sort of make you sleepy or something. And they also hit like a truck. Thought there was an item over here. Whole reason why I was doing it, but I don't know if that's worth. Now this is good because it's going to get you... I think this is going to take us to get a ring that we saw on our way in. But was separated by a cliff. Again, you can fight those guys. It's slow going. So I don't bother. So now the question is, did I do everything I could in this direction? Because what I should do in that case is Homeward Bone. All right. Like other Souls games, you can use the souls of bosses to build stuff. I don't know if I need it. I don't know what the Moonlight Butterfly gets me, and if I would actually use the item, but... let's see. Hopefully this gets me 4 levels, maybe? Let's see how we're doing. Okay, so now we sort of done what we're going to do. The nice thing, though, is the next area is actually a pretty good place to farm, but the problem is that when you do it in human form, you're going to get invaded. So we'll see if we actually... This is sort of a one of the covenants. The whole point of this covenant is to protect this area of the forest. So you can see there's a guy up ahead there. So they sort of put in place these sort of fake human players. And they're all pretty tough. So the trick is you want to, if you can, you want to draw them out one at a time. Oh, there you can see, since we're human, you can see a summoning sign. Right, because it's a covenant of, you know, to protect the forest of, you know, with human players. So it'll tend to, like, summon in human players. Get a backstab. So again, like, you know, these guys can be tough. They drop a decent amount of souls, and there's a bunch of them in here, and you can just sort of cycle them. But again, you don't want to do it in human form because of the covenant. But man, I take that shot there. That's not... So yeah, I mean, these are all like sort of tough individual little duels, and you got to be careful. You want to try and pull them back, or at least I try and pull them back around here because some of them have ranged weapons. They can sort of... Oh, here we go. All right. Some of them have ranged weapons and can cover each other, so hopefully I've got a minute here before I have to deal with... I mean, the guy's going to kick my ass, but hopefully I have a second to clear this guy first before the invader gets here. Not getting the backstab. Again, I know with the axe, it was a little off-center from my perspective than what I thought I had to be. Maybe I'm like going to... Oh, there in the background. You can see him. Maybe I'm going too far into the center of the back. Maybe you got to just be off. No, he's not down. Okay, this is going to be tough. I mean, sometimes you can get lucky and these guys aren't... That's a good opening, at least. They're not great. Sometimes the invaders, but a lot of times I would imagine at this point, the people left doing this kind of stuff are good players. Suddenly then busting out some lightning damage there, and I'm down. Oh, that's polite. And so this is good, because now what we can do is we can farm this this area without getting invaded. But I think, let me see, we've been going for a little while. What do I got for... Yeah. I was wondering, like, do I do a halberd? But, like, I can't really get hit. Let me get my souls. And then let me start figuring out... I might need to start wrapping this one up. I feel like we got a decent amount in. We got past the Moonlight Butterfly. We went back to the Undead Asylum and cleared that out. Is this going to be enough to get me a level? No. Well, okay, but that's, you know, we can farm a little bit if we want to get that level. But that'll have to, I think, that'll wait till next time. So yeah, let me take a seat here, and we'll start wrapping up with Black Lodge Trivia Night. Again, thanks for coming to the YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe. I'll definitely be doing some Darklands, but again, that's on camera, and it's been a rough week. If you like this kind of stuff, you know, we also do... The main thing we do is actual plays of tabletop RPGs. You know, feel free to come check out those videos here, or you can hear those audio podcasts wherever you get your podcasts at Black Lodge Trivia Night. We also have, Damn Fine Coffee, which is a sort of discussion topic kind of podcast. Bookhouse Boys, where we sort of just pull a book off the shelf and go into it. But otherwise, again, I guess X and Blue Sky, Black Lodge RPG. We're on Mastodon as well, but that might be Black Lodge Trivia Night. I might not have been able to get Black Lodge RPG when we did it. But anyway, if you want, follow us there. Otherwise, we'll get back into this. We are going to have another Black Lodge podcast this coming out in a couple days, and we'll go from there. So thanks again. Take care.